Peace and blessings out there. This is Michael Davis with another topic. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Now, the topic of this video is going to be about loners. How many people out there are loners? Like, this is a topic that I know very well. Okay? I've been a loner all my life. All my life. It's my orientation. It's innately me. I am a quintessential loner. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. But, the reason why most loners feel ashamed or they feel abnormal is because society deems us as abnormal. They deem us to be deviants. They deem us as maladjusted, atypical creatures that's roaming this earth. And in order to get to the bottom of that, we need to discuss socialization. We need to discuss socialization and social programming. That's essentially what it is. Like, socialization is pretty much a set of customs that's been inculcated inside of you by a particular society. Okay, like in the Western world, extroversion is considered normal. Okay, introversion is considered abnormal. People who are social butterflies are considered normal. People who are loners are considered abnormal. That's because we've been socialized to think that way. But if you go over into Eastern part of the world, it's the opposite. Introversion, introverts are considered normal. Loners is in that category, is considered normal. And extroverts and social butterflies are considered abnormal, atypical. So the same, contentment that we get treated with over here, as far as loners is concerned, extroverts will be treated with that same contentment over in the eastern part of the world. So it's predicated upon, demographics. Geographics. It's predicated upon that. So I said that to say this. We've been socially programmed to stop at stop signs. Whether stopping at a stop sign is wrong or right, that's subjective. Okay, but we've been programmed to do that. We've been programmed that you should stop at stop signs. Now, when we're born, we don't know that. Okay, we're not born innately knowing to stop at stop signs. We've been programmed and taught and programmed that that's what we're supposed to do. So whenever we see a stop sign, that's what we do. We automatically stop. Unless you're in a rush and you just say, fuck it, and just ride by the stop sign. But, okay, I digress. But what I'm saying is we've been programmed for that. So we also been programmed to think that loners are abnormal. Okay, that's why a lot of loners feel, even though that's a part of their personality, even though that's part of their orientation, they still feel weird, about being a loner. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I went to the mall yesterday and, it's holiday time. So everybody's in a festive spirit and it's just crowds and crowds of people. And here I am walking through the mall all by myself. You know what I mean? And even though that's my normal personality, I still sometimes I feel weird of how other people perceive me, and I don't think that we should feel like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who contributed to this world who were loners. A lot of very important people. The reason why I could see you and you could see me through this technological device is because a loner created it. Sir Isaac Newton, the creator of algebra, Henry David Thoreau, Nikola Tesla, who really did create electricity. You see what I'm saying? Like Leonardo da Vinci created the Mona Lisa. Bill Gates, you know, a lot of those very creative people were loners. A lot of philosophers was loners. Creativity is embedded in a person who was a loner. Thomas Edison, you see what I'm saying? Like Socrates, you know, all those sages were Confucius and people like that. They were loners. You see what I'm saying? So loners are the people who lead and they don't follow. So you should be proud to be a loner, because we are some of the most profound thinkers. We're very reflective. We're very introspective. You know, there's nothing weird about being a loner. Nothing weird at all. You know, and I'm actually proud to be one. But it was a time where it made me uncomfortable because, you know, as a child, I always, you know, was alone. My mom, my father wasn't a big part of my life. He was never around. He was what I called a derelict father. And I was raised by my mom. But she was very abusive, you know, verbally and physically. And, you know, I felt like it was my fault. I felt like a burden. And I didn't want to be abused. So I spent most of my time in my room with my door shut. And I would play with my toys and create like my own fantasy world for hours upon hours upon hours. I would rarely come out. I had two siblings, but they was treated like angels and I was treated like a demon, you know. But that's a whole nother story, you know what I mean? Like when I was born, my name wasn't Michael Davis. You know, my mom gave me away when I was born, and she wanted me back because they was going to take away her, you know, income for having me. And so she brought me back when I was 8. She changed my name from Anthony to Michael, and that's when the abuse started, you know. And so I would just lock myself in my room for hours upon hours upon hours. And they thought that it was weird. They didn't understand that maybe the abuses was causing him to do that. So they sent me to see a psychiatrist to try to figure out why I was like that. And so I started going to school and trying to meet new friends. But since I was always alone, and since I didn't have an infrastructure where my family was solidified, where I was brought up in a loving and caring household, I was obviously awkward. I was very socially awkward. Okay. So that brought along bullying. You know, I was bullied really, really, really bad. You know, I would try to make friends, but I just didn't fit in. Okay. So that led me to being even more isolated. And it just continued, you know, even in high school, I was bullied, considered weird, awkward. And so I just always felt comfortable alone, and it just grew, and it just progressed. So now I'm an adult who just likes to be alone. I don't like to be bothered with people because, to be honest, and I hate to sound misanthropic, you know, I know I sound like a misanthrope, but, and this is not a generalization. I'm just speaking about a certain, you know, a certain group of people, or a certain percentage of people, I should say. But most people are selfish. Most people are greedy. Most people are depraved, and they lack compassion. And they will forsake you. From my own personal experience, that's what I've known. So I would rather just be alone than to deal with the bullshit of humanity. You see, it's safer to me. It's kind of like a defense. You know, so that's the origins of my being a loner. And part of it is genetics. Even though my mom is very abusive, she's pretty isolated too. I think it's because some type of psychological issues with her though. And my dad is very extroverted, so I just took my mom's side of the genetic pool. But the moral of the story is being a loner is not bad. That's one of the Being a loner is something that you should be proud of because it's something that a lot of people cannot do. They need validation, to feel good about themselves. They need other people's approbation to feel good about themselves. Okay? Loners don't need that. We don't need outside approval for internal gratification. I think I covered everything. And I hope you found this video insightful. And if any of you guys are loners and you have anything that you want to share that's pertinent to this video, then share it, because there's strength in numbers. I hope you guys find my videos informative and conducive to growth, because I am very proud that you guys subscribe to my channel. I'm currently at 61 subscribers, and I'm not gonna lie, with me having social anxiety, I be seeing the numbers grow, and I'd be like, holy shit, now I gotta produce. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, man, I didn't know it was gonna get this big. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm happy that people, find me entertaining. So, peace, blessings. I hope you guys have a exceedingly great holidays, and much love from Mike Davis. Peace.